Hello and welcome. The war on Gaza has exposed the divisions within the Arab world. In virtually all Middle Eastern capitals, the calls have been for the governments to end the war, or in some instances even get directly involved. Arab leaders have chosen caution instead, favouring a slow and diplomatic approach, even as the body count rises in Gaza. On Thursday, a UN relief agency convoy came under fire from Israeli forces in the Gaza Strip during the 3-hour ceasefire that was held. The aim of that ceasefire was to allow Gazans and aid workers to recover dead bodies, treat the wounded, and gather much needed supplies in and around the city. Meanwhile, US Secretary of State Condoleezza Rice, British Foreign Secretary David Miliband, and French Foreign Minister Bernard Kouchner continued their meetings with Arab diplomats at the United Nations to discuss a UN resolution for an immediate ceasefire. Delegations from the Middle East are studying the British drafted text, but people are asking, is the Arab initiative coming too little, too late? While the citizens of several Arab states have come out to rally for their Palestinian brethren, several of their governments do not want to get involved. In an ironic twist, pro-Palestinian rallies have been quashed by force in places such as Ramallah. On today's show, we ask, have the Arab states done enough to confront Israel's actions in Gaza? Remember, you can join our conversation with your questions and comments, and the livestation.com chat room is going. Go to livestation.com/AJE. You can enter the chat room to take part, and we welcome calls as well. Now, joining me today from London is Abdelbari Atwan, the editor-in-chief of the London-based pan-Arab newspaper Al-Quds Al-Arabi, the position he's held since 1989. He's also author of A Country of Words, The Life of Abdelbari Atwan, a Palestinian journey from the refugee camp to the front page. Joining me from Cairo in Egypt is Professor Gehad Oda, chairman of the International Relations Department at Helwan University and member of the ruling National Democratic Party Policies Committee. I want to welcome you both to the show, and Abdelbari Atwan, start with you and say, where is the Arab voice in all of this? Why is this happening with so little regional effort to stop it?
Well, actually, there is no Arab voices at all. We noticed that the Arab voices went to United Nations in order to secure Security Council resolutions to halt these kind of atrocities against the Palestinians, and they are still talking. We have a Turkish initiative. We have American, French, British initiative, but unfortunately we don't have any Arab initiative. The Israeli are massacring the Palestinian people the way they like. 750 people are killed until now. United Nations convoys are attacked and bombed. The Israeli imposing their legacy on helpless and hopeless Palestinian. So it is shameful, to be honest. It is shame on Arabs not to intervene and stop these massacres and save their brothers and sisters and children in Gaza.
Well, Abdelbari, I want to put to you an email we got from Javed Iqbal, a viewer called Javed Iqbal, who sent in this email saying, whatever the reasons for the Arab leaders' inaction, we need to remember that whenever we get a good Muslim or Arab leader who will stand up for justice, they are usually killed in one way or another. Every one of us needs to be responsible and take action in a democratic way. Is there a fear, do you think, Abdelbari, among Arab leaders, they might get caught in the middle of all this? Do they just want to wash their hands of this?
Well, actually, they shouldn't. They have a lot of important cards. If they like to play it correctly, they will achieve a lot of results. For example, they have the oil cards. They have the financial reserve card. They have the security coordination with the Western worlds, who are the major supplier and supporter of Israel. Also, they have the secret immigration cards. If they decide to say to the European in particular, look, if you don't interfere and stop your friends in Israel from massacring our people, we will unleash those illegal immigrants to your shores in Europe. So they have a lot of cards. If they like to play it, they will actually succeed. But the problem is they don't want to do so. They are scared from the Israeli, they are scared from the American, and also they are against the culture of resistance which is adopted by Hamas and Hezbollah. And they would like to see Hamas wiped off the map completely, Hezbollah to be defeated and also removed completely from South Lebanon. That's why they are collaborating in a way or another with the Israeli in the incursion in Gaza.
Well, let me bring in Professor Gehad Oda here and ask to get an Egyptian perspective. Why, I mean, when Egypt was being looked for more leadership, why has there been such a quiet voice from the Egyptian side, especially as there's that connection at Rafah, which could somehow benefit the Gazans as well?
No, Egypt basically is does have a loud voice, but the voice of reason because Egypt believes in what you call it, which it seems as exactly Abdel Bari Atwan doesn't believe in the norms of legitimacy, the norms of international legitimacy. Israel is now against international legitimacy, and we are trying to bring Israel into international legitimacy accord. That is why we disagree on these things, but as a matter of fact, we have a very loud voice in terms of our initiatives. The president himself, offered an initiative, and very well schemed initiative, and I think it's somehow it's a good ground to work with,
Professor,
and to breed some solutions.
Right. Professor,
the problem here is how, and you have to remember that the Arabs have met in Cairo 5 days ago, and all the Arabs, whether moderates or radicals, came with a unanimous voting or unanimous agreement that we have to maintain truce, or we have to maintain Hudna, and we have to go to the UN to seek international resolution.
Yeah, Professor, let me get an email to you. Professor, let me get an email to you that came in from Bangladesh, from Rakib Ahmed in Dhaka in Bangladesh, who says, I'm ashamed that Egypt is letting the killing go on and working on a ceasefire in favor of Israel. Now, I mean, if people get this perspective or this opinion, it could end up making President Hosni Mubarak look very bad in all of this. I mean, isn't there that risk that Egypt, ends up looking very bad in all of this?
No, I don't think Egypt looks any, because Egypt has a very strong position against Israeli aggression, and very loud voice for that. And Israel and Egypt is rather trying to pressure Israel to respect international law and to respect international boundaries. As a matter of fact, I think the president is doing all he could do with taking into consideration the circumstances of the region. That Israel now is getting into a tough election, and it seems as exactly it's what we see in Israel is just a war, or using war for election. For election gains or electoral gains.
Let me.
But the problem here is that it's the first time that all Arabs, we have to remember that all Arabs came together in Cairo and agreed together on a set of principles, on a set of norms, on a set of guiding.
Okay, Professor, I'm going to put this to Abdel Bari Atwan. Professor, let me put this to Abdel Bari Atwan. Then, so the Arab leaders have gotten together. They've obviously decided that there should be a particular course of action. But as far as I guess the international community is concerned, and certainly those in Gaza, there doesn't seem to be much coming out of it. So is there any chance that perhaps more grassroots action might take place, where people in the Middle East might look for a stronger expression of what they want done?
Well, actually, before I come to this point, I would like to remind Dr. Jihad Aoudeh that Gaza was occupied by the Israeli 3 times. Twice in 1956 and 1967, it was under the administration of Egypt. So Egypt morally and legally responsible for Gaza. And this is the 3rd time, and the Egyptian government are not trying to help those people in Gaza Strip. I would like to ask him a question. Why about 100 doctors are prevented from going and help their brothers in Gaza? Why Egypt prevented doctors to go there and perform their duties with their brothers? I know they are not actually Hezbollah expert. They are not missile Iranian Revolutionary Guards experts. So why they don't let the doctors in?
Okay.
The other point is Gaza is unifying the Arab streets. And you can see there are demonstrations all over the Arab world, and it seems there are a lot of movement there.
All right, let's get the professor. I'll just let you give you a chance to talk.
Let me answer him.
Please.
Let me answer him, please. Yes. Let me tell you something. First, who prevented the doctors from getting into the crossing is the Israeli military, not the Egyptians. The Egyptians absolutely asked that in coordination with the Egyptian authorities. I don't know whether you know that or not, because they cannot go up to the terminal, to the what you call it, Gaza, to Rafah terminal, unless the Egyptian authorities agree. And what really prevented them from getting into Gaza is the Israeli military by force, by preventing them, by not allowing the Egyptians to contact the Hamas counterpart on the grounds to do that. So Egypt rather is so innocent in this episode, and it's not could not be blamed in these affairs. Any other things? Yeah. I agree with you that we have to have a strong action against the Israeli aggression, and we have all these civilian civilians massacres and all the stuff that we have to stop. But that's why the President Mubarak just advanced his proposals.
Professor, we have to take a short break. Professor, I'll let you carry on afterwards. We have to take a short break now. As we take this break, let me just give you one expression of opinion that we had from an email that came in from Huda Hussein in London, who says, "Why do Jewish men speak like a man but Arab men speak like a woman? Where is the power of the Arabs? Shame on the Arabs." We'll discuss this and other issues as we get back after this short break. Now, let me remind you, the live station chat room is taking place as we go with this. We'll be back with more in just a moment.